Hi, and welcome to Quilting with Lori. Today we're going to be working on a Bargello quilt. This is the block that we're going to be making that will make up the entire Bargello quilt. So simple, so easy, using 4 fabrics. Let me show you. I've brought you right to my tabletop so we can get started on this. There is a PDF pattern available for you. I'll have that linked in the description box below so that you can grab that if you're interested in it. But I'm going to be taking you through some of the information here today. This, of course, is the block. It's a nice large block, 21 inches square here. And we're going to make 9 of these for the wall quilt. It's a 67-inch square wall quilt that's in the pattern, but you can also make it much larger just by using more fabric. What you can do for this quilt is simply grab remnants from your stash or even strips from your stash. Maybe you'd like to do a patriotic quilt since this is the 250th anniversary of our country. And here I've just chosen some fat quarters. Using fat quarters will help you just understand this technique. You'll be able to make one of these blocks, maybe even 2, and create a great big pillow or just a simple wall hanging that you can add borders to. But it's a great way to learn the technique. The first thing you'll want to do is actually identify the colors for each of your 4 fabrics. I have given my light color A. I've identified my light blue here as color B, my tan is color C, and my dark brown as color D. It doesn't matter what order they're in at all. You can follow the diagram and what I've shown in the pattern, or you can do whatever you choose. It doesn't matter at all when we put this together. So just make sure you identify that, and that will be very helpful as you are going through and putting together your strip sets. In fact, I would cut out a square of each of these fabrics and place that on your color codes so that as you're working on this, you don't get mixed up, and you'll make sure that every time you need a color A, you're reaching for the right one, and color B, C, and D, and so forth. Just using 4 fabrics in this one, we're not using 9 or 13 or however many fabrics most Bargello quilts will call for. And the more fabrics you use, obviously, the more intricate the Bargello quilt is. But my goal with this particular pattern is to show you the technique so you kind of understand how a Bargello quilt goes together. I do want to point out one thing. You'll notice here I have a couple of dark browns, and that's because when I pulled my remnants, I didn't have enough of one. So these are both color D. They're my browns, and they're both color D. So that works out fine too. You don't have to use the identical fabrics as long as that value remains the same, and you're going to get that beautiful Bargello look to your quilt. And how fun that's going to be with red, creams, and blues here. This is more of a primitive yellow undertone collection of fabrics, but I think this would be gorgeous. So you're going to get your fabrics ready, pressed, and so forth. And then from each of the 4 fabrics, you're going to be cutting 4 1.5, 2, and 2 1/4 inch strips with the fabric strips from each one. And then from each one, you're going to be cutting a total of 2 2.5 inch with the fabric strips from the 4. And so that's what you need to cut. Then you're going to get those in order so we can create 4 different strip sets. Let me show you what they look like. So strip set number 1 is going to look just like this. And you are starting with a 1.5 inch color C. Then you're adding a 2 inch color D, and your colors are going to be different than mine. Then you're adding a 2 1/4 inch color A, and then you're adding a 2.5 inch color B. And then you're going backwards with the same exact set. So this is really just the same. There's only one in the middle, and these are identical. Then you're starting over with another set, and this is a 1.5 inch color B, a 2 inch color A, a 2 1/4 inch color D, and a 2.5 inch color C. And so you've started, you've got the large one in the center, and then you're repeating these back here. So that is strip set number 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 strips in each strip set. So this is strip set number 1. When I pressed strip set number 1, I made sure I pressed it in all one direction. In this case, I pressed it to the right. It might look like to the left on the screen there, but I pressed strip set number 1 and 3 to the right, and I pressed strip set number 2 and 4 to the left. That allows everything to nest when you cut them apart and put them back together. That is strip set number 1. Let's take a peek at strip set number 2. All right, here we have strip set number 2. And in this case, we're starting out with D, A, B, and C, and then C, A, and D. So that's the first sequence. And then the second sequence here for strip set number 2 is the C, B, A, D, A, B, and C. And again, there's 14 different strips there. Each sequence is 7 wide. There's 7 strips, there's 7 different fabrics in each sequence. If it's easier for you to sew these 7 together first and these 7 together and then put them together in the middle, I think I did that for a couple of them. It's just an easier way to do it so you don't have quite so much fabric as you're going across the row, but whatever works the best for you. I used a 1/4 inch seam guide foot on my machine, which helped to make sure that everything maintained a perfect 1/4 inch. And again, for strip set number 2 and 4, everything was pressed to the left. That way the rows are going to nest beautifully. And then of course I did strip set number 3 and strip set number 4, which looks different than this, but the pattern shows you exactly what each of these strip sets looks like and how to construct each one with the fabric strips that you need for each and every one of the 4 strip sets. All right, so this is strip set number 1. I folded it in half, and I have now cut 4 strips from it that are 1 3/4 inches wide. So I need to cut 4 of these 1 3/4 inch wide strips from each of my strip sets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I'll have all 16 of those strips ready to create my block. Here are those strips so that you can see the whole thing. I unfolded them. I had folded them in half and cut them, and here they are unfolded. So these are 4 of the 1 3/4 inch strips from strip set number 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 strips from strip set number 2, 3, and 4. All right, so as you can see, I have 4 of each of the 4 strip sets cut. So I have 4 1 3/4 inch wide strip set number 1, 4 of number 2, 4 of number 3, and 4 of number 4. These 16 strip sets are going to go together to make block A. And as you can see, I kept the identifier on each of the strip sets so you don't get mixed up. I even kept the identifier on the strip set itself, and I'm going to set it aside so they're all behind me. Now we're going to put these we're going to put these 16 strips together in order to make the block. So as I lay out the blocks here, this is strip set number 1. I've got 4 of these strips. 1 here, there. I'm going to leave some space in between because I'm going to be placing the other strip sets in there, and I want to make sure that you can see it as well. So that's strip set number 1. It starts at the top. For me, the top is here. For you, the top is here. So we'll call this the top. Now strip set number 2 comes next. Again, here they are. I've got them attached with a clip. So I'm going to pull strip set number 2 and make sure that I have them laying here correctly. So I want to make sure the dark is on this side, which is color number 4, and this is color number 3, or C actually over here. So make sure that you're laying them out properly. So the strip set 1 and 2, I've got a spot for 3 and 4. Here's 1 and 2. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Some of this is going to fall off the screen, I'm afraid. Here is strip set number 3. I'm going to lay this in here, and again, making sure that I start at the right edge, and I need to start with the color number A. So there is strip set number 3, strip set number 3, strip set number 3, and that last one, you're not going to be able to see it. It's way down there. So we have strip set 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, and then of course the last strip set is number 4. And again, making sure that I am placing this so that the right color is on this side, which needs to be this. And you can always tell because it's creating these diagonal lines, and that's what you need there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this last one will go down there, and I can't reach it right now, but now all of these are in the proper position. Now we need to sew them together. And because you have pressed this line of seam allowances this direction and this line of seam allowances this direction, you'll be able to actually nest the rows together beautifully. So all of those are going to nest together beautifully. You can certainly pin if you need to, but if you're very careful, you can just literally lay them out at your sewing machine and sew those rows together, because you can nest them as you're sewing, and it should go together beautifully to create your block A. So here is block A. It is sewn. I have, on half of this, I just wanted to show you what I did. On half of this, I did press my seam allowances open. That is a great thing to do. It makes the quilt block lay flatter. However, it was very time consuming. So you can certainly just press all of your seam allowances to one side once you have everything nested. So these rows, these are pressed this way, these are pressed this way, this way, this way, and then I just pressed all of that to one side. So up to you how you want to press everything. But there is one complete block. Now, you can keep making these blocks to make as large a quilt as you want. It all depends on how much fabric you have. And keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to use the same fabrics in the block for every color. So this is color D. On this side, it's a brown with a dot. On this side, it's a brown with some coffee beans in there. It works beautifully. It's got the same value, so the eye is picking it up as the same color. So have fun with it. Use up your scrap stash if you have a scrap stash that you can use. Put these strips together. It's a very fast block, actually, to put together. And if you were to make a total of 9 of these, you'd have a beautiful 67 by 67 inch quilt. And of course, you could make even more and make a much larger quilt. This in itself would make a great little wall hanging or a nice large pillow if you chose to do that. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today on the Bargello basics. This is a very fundamental basic Bargello. There are many other ways to put together Bargello quilts. I enjoy all of them, but I thought I would just show you, if you've never done a Bargello and were curious about how they go together, this is a very simple technique to give you an idea of how it goes together. And it creates such a beautiful, beautiful quilt of movement across the entire quilt. So I hope you'll try it. I'm anxious to try something in these colors here. And it won't be a very big quilt because I only have fat quarters, but that's just enough. Can't wait to see what that turns out like. So let me know if you're going to try this quilt, and let me know if you've ever done Bargello quilts. If you've made some, I'd love to see photos of those. You can certainly share those with me either on the contact page on my website, or go out to my Facebook page, Quilting with Lori, and then scrap up your stash and you can share those pictures. I'd love to see them, and I'm sure everybody else would as well. But I hope to hear from you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to do that, and like and make a comment. I sure love to read the comments from my viewers on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And until next time, happy quilting.